Hello and welcome to another What's Inside. Today we are looking at the U.S. Army Desert Patrol. This is officially licensed from the U.S. Army, which uses the money supposedly for the welfare, morale, and recreation programs. So apparently the U.S. Army is allowed to own a trademark to their name, which I find kind of odd. Anyway, this was put out by Excite and distributed by Dollar General stores. Now, it's interesting because these are actual Army license official stuff. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So it comes with quite a bit of stuff. Let's check it out. The figures are 3 3/4 inch posable figures, so they're compatible with the old G.I. Joes, and the equipment should all be able to fit a G.I. Joe figure as well. So let's open it up and see what we've got in here. It's just secured by a piece of tape. And these usually go for about $10. So for the price point, it's actually a really good deal for considering how much stuff you seem to get. Let's see if it is the quality that we hope it is, though. Alright, so on the back, it does have a twist tie. You're going to need to undo that. Okay. Oh, and it's got these big plastic things holding it down in place too. That's lovely. So you might need a screwdriver for that. Be aware of that if you're buying this for your kids. You'll probably need something to undo those. A quarter works pretty good apparently. And so these are the screw pieces that are going to come out, and then alright, so we've got another wire holding the figures in place, which is really annoying, but I get it. That does not like coming off. So there's a lot of little metal pieces here that an adult's going to have to take out. So let's take the first guy out of there. It's cool that it comes with two figures. This is the other half of that screw piece. It's anti-theft deterrent stuff. And you'll want to take those off because it won't roll without taking them off. So if you're going to display it, you'll want to hang on to those. But if you actually want your kid to play with this, then no. Wow, this is really tight on there. You almost need a kid to take this apart because this is not a convenient place for a tie, and my big adult fingers don't really fit in there. Jeez, that was more work than it was worth. Alright, so the figures are fairly large considering the size of the vehicle. So getting them in and out of here might be a little bit of a chore, as you can see. Probably be better to go in this way, I suppose, but yeah, actually these figures are pretty well crafted. They don't have a lot of points of articulation, which stink, because if you could swivel this arm instead of it just going up and down, like he makes weird poses. How are you supposed to have him aim a gun or anything? The legs don't bend, which would have been nice. They just kind of allow them to sort of sit. Like this guy's arm is already bent, which is kind of cool, but the other one isn't. So they're out at weird angles, and the fact that the knees don't bend is kind of annoying. This guy has a walkie-talkie built into his leg with a antenna. The antenna is going to get busted off. But they are pretty solid pieces. They should hold up pretty well. The vehicle itself rolls well. This antenna piece probably going to get busted off, but cute. The chair swivels, which is really cool. The gun swivels a little stiffly because it hasn't been played with, but you can shoot up, and it does swivel 360. The front grille, that's not quite as solid as I would like it to be. That'll probably get broken. Tires are pretty nice. The undercarriage, you can see there's not any detailing there. So if somebody drops something, it'll be easy to retrieve. There is a little spot underneath here, though. So I'm sure some kid will put some toys under there. But yeah, this tire would have been nice if that came off, but it's a solid part of the vehicle. Those are going to get broken. Same with the steering wheel. They have 2 seats here, but there's no way you're getting either of these guys in with the other one. See, he's got his legs all man-spreading, and the other guy's fairly close together. If these had been G.I. Joes, you could have easily got 2 in there, but because these have no flexibility whatsoever, they're not going to both fit in the front seat, which would have been nice, because if you get some of the other play sets, you could have more guys, and you'll want to move them all on here. Oh, there's missed a twist tie on here. So overall, the top rack is actually fairly stable. If it's got any weight pushed on top, this will definitely break, or at least bend significantly, and you're not going to be able to reshape it. But it is pretty sturdy as far as like the construction goes. It's just not thick plastic. So it's sturdy if it's played with gently. It'll hold up and do its job, but if heavy weight is put on it, it will definitely break. Alright, let's see what else we've got in this play set. So we've got some guns for them here that are strapped down with plastic. That breaks fairly easily. The plastic, not the guns. Bent that one a little bit. Now, as far as the weapons rack that's in here, it's just plastic inserted here, so if you pull slightly, it should come right out. There we go. So it looks like we've got a shovel, a combat knife, like a scorpion type gun, a shotgun, a pistol, binoculars, a backpack, and a couple of grenades. Now you'll probably have to cut these out, but I imagine you could bend them out as well. This plastic is really cheap. They used a different type of harder plastic on the 2 main guns, and this is this cheap, real cheap plastic. Yeah, you could just bend these out if you're a kid. It'd be easier if you had a cutting device like this handy pair of scissors that I was using. Remember not to use scissors without permission. And this is probably not the best way to do it, but I've always found that scissors are a miracle device. And you can just cut them out. So let's see how well they hold these. Nope. Yeah, he can shoot that G style. As far as this guy, he can't even hold this one because, I mean, it gets right into his arm there. Nope. Yeah, I kind of have to force it. It could fit in the other hand. Let's see, how's he even supposed to hold this one? Okay, so he could sort of hold the other one because this has like a hollow grip here. You can put his fingers through there, which isn't very realistic, but hey, whatever. I guess we're not going to be too realistic with the military weaponry. But the figures do look pretty cool. The face paint tends to be a little splashed on, so it'll bleed over into the helmet strap, that sort of thing. But the body itself actually looks really good. My only complaint is that the arms aren't more flush with the body. They're too wide out. And the fact that the figures are a little thicker than your average G.I. Joe is what prevents them from putting two of them in the front seat of the vehicle. But the vehicle construction is pretty cool. There's a lot of space on the vehicle to have little adventures and put stuff. So, I mean, if you have some G.I. Joe style figures of the core, these would work well with it. These guys are a little bigger than those, like I said, but the vehicles will definitely have some crossover ability there. And I think these are pretty well constructed toys. I'm actually kind of impressed. The ancillary weapons are kind of junky quality, but you do get a significant amount of stuff with it. So for a $10 kit, it's actually a pretty good deal. I mean, you get a lot here. You get a vehicle and two figures. You get a lot of weapons and accessories, a couple grenades. The backpack should fit on the screw port like G.I. Joe's. Yep. So they can wear the backpack. You just put it in where the screw is there, the top screw. And yeah, overall, I'm kind of surprised these are as good a quality. They looked really cheap when I looked at it, and I thought they were going to be the weakest part, but they're actually well constructed. They just don't bend. They're sort of like the old Fisher-Price action figures. So I would definitely recommend this if you've got a kid that wants to play with some military toys and pretend to blow stuff up. This is definitely a good investment for them. I think it'll hold up pretty well overall. A lot of the little bits and pieces are going to break off, but the main body's fairly stable. Unless it gets thrown around or somebody sits on it or something, should hold up pretty well. And there, like I said, there's a lot of little pieces to this, so definitely worth the $10, I would say. And that is the U.S. Army Desert Patrol, officially licensed from the U.S. Army, and distributed by mostly Dollar General stores. I've seen similar type ones from other companies that I don't think are licensed by the U.S. Army, but the fact that these actually look like U.S. Army stuff and they say U.S. Army on them, that's kind of cool. So if you get a chance to pick this up, I would definitely recommend it. I think it's a pretty neat little set for the price point. It's pretty fantastic. You're going to fight with these stupid plastic or metal ties, but it could be worth it. And on the back here's a little tow hitch, so you can actually tow some of the other accessories. So it could be fun. But we've seen what's inside, so that's it for me. As always, thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss future unboxings. And we hope to see you on the next one.